What's up, YouTube? This is Matthew Briscoe, and I'm here with, what I'd call topic drawings, topic sketches. I don't know. I'll figure it out. You'll be able to tell by the title. But one of the things I'd like to talk about is actually drawing. I mean, a lot of people kind of take a lot of it for granted. I mean, I'm yawning. But I know a lot of people think the basics aren't very important lately, especially when it comes to anime drawings and stuff like that. Which really does kind of bug me a lot, because I was hanging out with some friends the other day, and there was this dude, right? And he had to see my sketchbook, and I showed him the one drawing that was in it because it was a brand new sketchbook. And he ended up calling me a show off. So then I asked to see his drawings, and he's lacking a lot of structural support. So I'm telling him, hey, learn your basics. It is a very important thing you need to learn. And instead of actually taking that and using it, he thinks at this point I'm just insulting him. It's no, I'm trying to give you some helpful advice. I mean, granted, he was oh, you're just saying that because you're better. And I'm no, I'm saying it because that's what, when I showed an art teacher my work, when I was in middle school, that's what they told me. They're you should get some actual structural foundation. Try coming to our art class. And me not really having the time, the money, like that to go to an actual art class, I kind of just stuck to the books, I guess, where they kind of showed you how, and then eventually I started more YouTubing it. I mean, there are very good YouTube artists out there. There's some amazing ones. But I even told him, search up YouTube. And then one of my friend's sisters were oh, it's because he's probably doing abstract. It's even if you're doing abstract, you still need to learn the basics. Here, I have the body with the center line not entirely turned away, but just barely, where you could barely see the other side. So, in order to make it work, I have to make a lot of this part more enlarged versus the other side. As you can see, this foot down here is actually looks a bit bigger than this foot because it's closer to me. Which a lot of people, even he would make this foot on the left side all the way down here, which wouldn't make sense. So I guess I'm saying is, if you're gonna draw, always learn your basics, because I mean, basics are, let's say, 100% one of the most important things you can learn. Even more important than, I'd say, you're good. I'm pretty, I guess my body's saying, hey, you're tired. Go to bed. You need to stop staying up at 2 in the morning. But like I was saying, I'd say that basics are even more important than actually developing a style. Because, I mean, without the basics, yes, you may have style, but you don't have much to work with. I mean, once you have the basics down and you practice drawing for a while, then I'd say, okay, hey, Now trying to develop your style. Now trying to do something that push yourself, you know? Because you still have to learn the basics in order to push yourself. Like, here. Yes, my head is kind of big. I noticed that. Right here. But that's only because of the way the character is right now. If I had it more sideways, well, actually, I'd say front view, his body would actually look a bit more proportioned, I'd have to say. And then, yeah, that's what I'd have to say. But back again to more like just basics in general. Well, I'll get back to that. Right now, I guess I could kind of explain what I'm doing, at least a little bit, so like, you understand what I'm drawing. Right now, I'm kind of just drawing like the character and like kind of looking over this way, but like just like slightly turning to be able to look over this way. Like, oh, what's going on over there? Don't want to like turn completely, but then they'll notice I'm looking at them. Might as well just like mildly look, like turn my head a little. Don't know why I'm trying to talk like southern and all, but who knows? But yeah. What else could I say about learning the basics? Learning the basics in the end will basically teach you everything you need to know. I mean, I don't know how much I can actually stress that, but if you really don't know how like to do dimension and all of that and proportion, then you can't really stretch or like do things like, alright, right here, I'm gonna be a person with big hands, right? Like ginormous hands, kind of like a monster type thing, you know. So collarbone right there, ribs, alright, hips, alright. See, elbow still right there, hand still right there. Body obviously is a bit bigger than normal. And legs right there. Alright. Obviously the legs are going to be a bit shorter to help compensate for the hands. But I'm about to make like really big. Okay. There we go. See, now here you'd be like, okay, those hands are like way too big, and his upper body is way too muscular right now. But if you think about it, in order to even lift those hands, he is going to have massive amounts of upper body strength, mainly up in his arms. Because, I mean, I said, kind of big for the average human. I mean, just a tad bit. Not really sure if you can see much, but let's, in order to see more, let's just grab this really quick. Alright. Oh, well, that was my cat. Kind of just went flying. 1 to 10. Okay. I don't know. Didn't even finish my first one. But yeah. Kind of like dull looking because it's like, I don't think someone like this would really be that intelligent. I don't know. I probably shouldn't judge. But I mean, it is a character, so that kind of is created. I don't know. I'm probably scared because that might be my bike. But yeah. Here, see, as you can see, pretty small, well, pretty big arms, and then with the hand there, that, and then I'll add some knuckles. Yeah. See, I mean, you're not gonna have like some scrawny ass arms if you're lifting basically like 30 to 40 pounds, or if not more, in like bone and like muscle every day. Because I mean, like, kinda gotta be a hands these big. God, that kind of be scary to come across someone like that. But I mean, still, in order to actually be able to think, okay, hey, can actually enlarge these hands. Yes, you don't really need basics, but I mean, someone who doesn't have the basics, they'd be like, oh, I'm drawing normal hands. And then like they would end up making something. They could probably end up making something like this. Kind of weird now, but I'll check that after. All right, see, add some knuckles again. Probably don't really need to add the knuckles every time, but still. But yeah. And now, let's give him like head. Let's give him like some legs. I mean, it won't be strong, but it won't be scrawny. I mean, probably just like if he's carrying him around, like he has to lift him up. Not gonna carry him around all the time, so probably just like I'll let him droop. So yeah, something like that. And then the stance he has, he's usually slouching. So here's another basic that you'd always need to know: weight bearing side. It's going to be always a little bit darker because that side is carrying most of the weight, and seeing how gravity is coming down and the weight is, the bottom of his legs, such as his calves, would be holding most of the weight. But yeah, let's see, 15. Let's just actually like finish this dude right here. So give him some eyes. I know. Once again, rugby. But yeah, I'm just gonna give him like, I know, not really doing much for this, but still. Just kind of like goofing off right here with this, and I'll goof it off in the middle of the video. Not very professional, but you know, I prefer to do this more fun sometimes. Alright, so I'm not really gonna do anything like too a pull, not upholstered. Don't really know what that word would be. Doing some wrinkles. I don't know. I'm bored with that. And now I'm just gonna like probably. I don't know. I'll probably actually make a full-fledged creature and post that on my Instagram like later. But right now, I'm just gonna actually use these to probably just quickly and as quick as I possibly can finish this character right here. So it's still not gonna be time lapse, so I'll still be talking. But you know, all right. What should I actually talk about? Well, I guess we can still talk about basics, like we were already. Alright, so still talking about just the basics of it all. As you can see, I just said really doing too much of actually showing up what like the basics would be able to do, except for like stretching out hands, talking about like weight bearing, but it is still extremely important to like actually understand. If you don't understand the basics, you're not gonna get far. Like, it doesn't matter if you have like, if you're good in like elementary school, if you're good in like, to some people in high school, if you want to make an actual like career, or even actually just like continuously like have people think you're good, you're still gonna need to have the basics. At least that's what I think entirely. I mean, could be just my opinion, but who's to say like my opinion's right? Who's to say my opinion's wrong? Like I said, I guess because we do all have our own opinions, but yeah, I suggest anyone who does wish to actually take up drawing seriously to do learn the basics. I mean, there's not much else you can really do unless you just want to like hop in there and like, not really understand what to do without having to either trace or constantly look up a reference. Because I mean, here's also something else. Once you learn the basics, you will rarely need actually any reference. Unless you're taking it straight from like nature. Be like, okay, I'm drawing my friend Marcus. And I'll be like, okay, you know, I'm gonna need some reference. Obviously pull up a picture off of like Facebook, probably just like sit there chilling out and actually draw. But if not, like I say, with this character, I mean, I didn't really need any reference for the clothes design. I mean, because I kind of had an idea of one, what I was already going to be drawing. Two, I have understanding of all the basics that there are. And it actually really does help out. I mean, that's like learning to play the guitar without actually learning the frets or the chords or anything like that. And then you just like kind of sit there like, derp, I thought I could play the guitar. No, you still have to like learn everything. I mean, I kind of tried doing that with the guitar, and like I was like, oh shit, I guess I kind of do need to learn everything first. And then of course I went to like the handy dandy YouTube for like pretty much what I do for pretty much everything, you know. But yeah, I kind of changed the expression on this dude's face, you know, kind of changed it to be a bit angrier. Kind of got rid of the light source in the other eye because his hair is kind of blocking that way. His mouth is all like worried and shit because he's like, okay, first mission. I'm the one who has to actually like take down the Shogun. Okay. Oh great. Why am I the first one who has to do this? If anyone really knows much about ninjas, not like Naruto, they were actually there to bring down and actually protect the order. Like if the Shogun was to be actually a corrupt, they would get rid of the Shogun, which would be the actual leader. It is actually pretty cool how ninjas actually are. So, but yeah, don't get me wrong. Mastering the basics, though, it's not gonna be like a oh hey overnight thing. It's gonna take a while. I mean, even I still have trouble with it, and it's not gonna be like okay, hey, I mastered it. I did it like a couple times. I mastered it, or okay, I've been doing it for like a couple years now. Now that I've mastered it, I'm never gonna have to go back to it. No, you're still gonna have to go back to it at times. Because I mean, either you've been away from it for too long, or just like other things could happen, you know. And then I guess for now, I'll probably actually like finish something or something like that next time. But it is about like let's see, 23 minutes, so I guess I don't really want to sign this. I'm not too big of a fan of either of them. I think this guy could do a lot more, be a lot better, and this guy could be a lot more cool looking. But either way, I hope you actually learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But either way, if you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, do all that jazzy stuff. I will actually leave my Instagram name down below in the description box. If you choose to follow, cool. I mean, if not, I'll see you guys then.